Meghan Markle has faced criticism before, but nothing prepared her for the fiery takedown she received live on television from media veteran Helen, who spared no words in exposing what millions of viewers have already been whispering. Season 2 of With Love, Meg is not only a flop, it's an embarrassment. What was supposed to be Meghan's moment of redemption quickly spiraled into yet another reminder that her attempts at building a Hollywood empire remain shallow, poorly executed, and transparently self-serving. The carefully crafted facade shattered in real time, leaving Meghan visibly cornered as Helen delivered a brutal yet undeniable assessment. Helen's critique didn't come from idle gossip or the usual tabloid drama. It was rooted in facts: declining viewership numbers, unimpressive reviews from established critics, and the undeniable lack of originality that has plagued every one of Meghan's media ventures since her Netflix debut. When Helen highlighted how With Love, Meg recycled tired concepts from other lifestyle shows without offering any authentic substance, the audience applauded in agreement. For Meghan, who has always styled herself as a trailblazer, the public acknowledgement that she is nothing more than a copycat was devastating. Adding salt to the wound, Helen pointed out Meghan's obsession with image over quality. Season 2 was marketed as Meghan's heartfelt reconnection with her audience. Yet every scene reeked of overproduction and artificiality. Instead of delivering warmth or relatability, Meghan's on-screen presence felt forced, rehearsed, and distant. Viewers could see it, critics wrote about it, and Helen articulated it. Meghan has no real grasp of what resonates with the public beyond her relentless pursuit of relevance. The very brand she has worked so hard to manufacture is collapsing under its own weight. The harsh reality is that Meghan's projects are no longer judged by curiosity alone. The public has caught on to the formula: big promises, glossy promotion, and then underwhelming execution. Helen's takedown underscored how Meghan continually positions herself as a victim of media scrutiny while failing to take accountability for her repeated creative failures. Instead of growing from criticism, Meghan doubles down on narratives of being misunderstood, a tactic that once drew sympathy but now only fuels frustration. When Helen reminded Meghan of the astronomical sum spent on producing With Love, Meg, the conversation turned damning. Here was a woman who walked away from royal duty claiming independence, only to leverage her title and connections for multimillion-dollar deals that keep producing underwhelming content. Audiences aren't blind. They see a pattern of entitlement, where Meghan expects success not from talent or originality, but from name recognition and calculated controversy. The live confrontation made it impossible for Meghan to hide behind polished PR statements or carefully curated social media clips. Perhaps the most striking moment of Helen's takedown was her comparison of Meghan's ventures to those of other Hollywood figures who, without royal titles, built empires on genuine talent, grit, and relatability. Meghan, in contrast, has leaned heavily on grievance narratives and royal associations, refusing to forge an identity outside of victimhood and superficial glamour. Helen's words cut deep because they reflected the sentiment millions have already accepted. Meghan Markle's brand is not inspirational, it's exploitative. In the hours following the broadcast, social media erupted. Clips of the exchange went viral, not because Helen was cruel, but because she voiced what others had been too polite to say. Comment sections flooded with remarks from viewers who admitted they had given Meghan one last chance with Season 2, only to be let down once again. Helen's dismantling was not a cheap attack, it was a mirror held up to Meghan's career, showing her exactly what the world now thinks. What makes this humiliation different from Meghan's previous controversies is that it played out in real time, without editing, without manipulation, and without the protective bubble of Netflix executives. It was raw, unfiltered accountability. Meghan, who once relished in controlling the narrative, could do nothing but sit there and absorb the reality that her star power is dimming at an alarming rate. The truth is undeniable now. Meghan Markle is running out of chances. Each failure chips away at the credibility she so desperately craves, and Helen's takedown may have been the loudest alarm bell yet. Season 2 of With Love, Meg was not a cultural moment, it was a cultural misfire, proving once more that ambition without authenticity will always collapse. And that collapse is exactly what we're watching in real time. Meghan entered Hollywood with the promise of shaking things up, of bringing a fresh voice and vision, But what we're seeing instead is the slow unraveling of a brand that was built on hype rather than substance. With Love, Meg was supposed to prove her staying power beyond the royal drama, but instead it highlighted her inability to deliver anything of real depth or originality. The glossy backdrops, the carefully scripted dialogue, the forced vulnerability, it all felt like smoke and mirrors. What Helen exposed on live television wasn't just one failed project, it was the truth behind all of Meghan's ventures. She has mistaken attention for admiration, headlines for impact, and production budgets for creativity. Viewers are no longer enchanted by the royal runaway narrative. They want authenticity, they want something new, and Meghan simply hasn't given them that. As Helen's words echoed across social media, it became clear that the public has stopped waiting for Meghan to prove herself. The patience is gone, the excuses are exhausted, and the verdict is out. Meghan Markle's cultural experiment is over, and the audience has moved on.